2, 1, you're up.
So, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. We are at the beginning of a new month, and not only are we at the beginning of a new month, but we are here with a powerful coach, Miss Janice Paycheck Parker, who has earned multiple $10,000 bonuses, $50,000 bonus. We can't even count how many $1,000 bonuses she's earned. And she has taken the time out of her day to spend time with us to train us on what we need to do in order to get to where she is and even to progress further. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce to you Miss Janice Paycheck Parker. Take it away.
Hey, I like that. Very good, guys. Did y'all see that? On the spot, no notice, no text message in advance, no hints that was going to happen, and she just nailed it. But let me tell you what, this is a champion that was responsible even for the formation, and it was just a seed planted like maybe 8-9 months ago. Maybe I was like, Sammy, I don't do that. Other people, bigger people do that, and she was like, no, bring the information. And so she was the one that was not only the mastermind behind it, guys, but I will tell you what, she actually literally helped to make sure that thing went so smoothly. And she has uploaded all of the videos, guys, to YouTube. And for those of you who attended Train the Trainer, you will be getting the live video and audio. So it's not just the audio, which is what I had. She's put together audio and video. So I thank you, Champion Tammy. Appreciate you and appreciate all the videos you did for everybody. You're just a leader's leader. And listen, I am so excited to see you walk the stage as a brand new regional and national builder. So family. All right, it is that time. Okay, so you understand, guys, most of you who, if you're new, let me help you understand, I guess I should do that, is that our pay week runs from Friday, which was yesterday, to this coming Thursday, right? Our pay week runs from Friday to Thursday. So technically Friday at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, no, 12:01 a.m. Central Standard Time is when our week starts, and it ends at 11:59, right? I guess that's 12 o'clock, right? 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, you have until technically 1 a.m. to close out your week. And so on Friday, then what our goal is to, and this call will be on Fridays at noon going forward. But what our goal is to look back at our week. And so for those of you who hopefully you have your calendars, okay? For those of you who have your calendars, and if you don't have your calendars, I'm going to give you like 15 seconds to grab your calendar. But you heard Tammy say that we are embarking upon a new month, but we're also in a brand new week too. So we got to pay attention to that because our week starts when everybody else's weekend begins. That's kind of the way it works. But now on your calendar, okay, in a margin like that, what you want to have are you want to look back at last week. Okay, so if you were to log into your back office, okay, you log into your back office and you look under at your where it says next check, especially if you're a team builder, okay, where it says your next $10,000 check, and that's what they have, the 7 heads that can light up as you add people to your team. You want to check off where you are this week. As far as the end of the week, are you at 1 of 14? Did you move to 5 of 14? Are you at 11 of 14? Like, where are you with regards to that team builder bonus? That is something that you want to make a note of. So once I bonus, then I went back to 0. And so now I have my number that is the number slash. So it should be a fraction, right? It should be a fraction, like 1 over 14, or whatever the case may be. Now, you also want to kind of just look back last week. If you are, let's say you are 3 of 14 now, and last week you were 3 of 14, then we have to wonder what happened in the 7 days that we had between that week, if we didn't move the needle a little bit. Does that make sense? The whole idea is not to wait to the end of the month to see where you are, but actually, right here at the beginning of the week, the beginning of your new week, look at your last week. Like, you want to track yourself, and you want to make sure that your team builder report, this is your team builder $1,000 bonus report, looks different this week than it did last week. Now, the next thing that you want to be looking at, if you are if you're a team builder or regional builder, is you want to be looking at where are you in reference to your $10,000 bonus? Where are you in reference to that? And so are you at 24 out of 100? Because guys, it takes 100 sales to earn a $10,000 bonus, okay? So you want to be tracking that as well. And that should be in your chart. Like, you should have that on your calendar so that every time you're looking at your calendar, which should be multiple times a day, as you're looking to make sure you fill your calendar up with activity, guys, you want to look at, where am I in reference to my $10,000 bonus? Did some numbers fall off? Do I need to make some phone calls? Did my numbers go up? Last week I was at 24. This week I'm at 32 of 100. Guys, we want to make sure that we're moving the needle. Like, we want to be moving the needle towards the position of getting to that $10,000 bonus. But if you're not tracking it, it's not something you think about. But if you are a team builder or above, team builder, regional builder, national builder, you want to make sure that you are tracking that inside of your chart. Now, national builders, what I also do is I also track where I am in reference to director. Because once you're a national builder, guys, you want to know, where are you in reference to the director position? Now, I'm going to challenge you to not just wait till Friday, guys. You can be monitoring yourself throughout the week. Like, as you go through your week, you may want to have some place on your calendar where you're tracking those numbers on a daily basis as well. Yes, you want to, on Friday is your day to review. What does Shug say? Plan, do, review. You want to review what you did last week. And if your numbers, if the needle did not move any last week, then we've got to double up our efforts this week. Does that make sense, guys? So you want to be looking at that as well. The other thing that you want to be looking at at the beginning of your next week is your commissions. Now you're going to look at this, COMMISSIONS. Is that right? Commissions. Or is it 1M? I don't know. At any rate, plan, do, review. Thank you, Shug. So COMMISS. I don't have my phone, but anyway, I think that's the way you look at commissions. But two things I want you to be looking at on your main page, right? On your main page, you want to look at your weekly commissions. What did you earn this week? And you want to write that down. So if you earn $15, if you earn $1,000, if you earn, $115, whatever it is, you want to be writing down what your weekly goal, what your weekly commissions actually were coming into November 1st. So what were your weekly commissions, okay? What were your weekly commissions? Then the other thing that I want you to look at is your monthly commissions, okay? What is your monthly commissions up to so far, okay? Because why? You are a business owner. These are I wrote mine down as stats. I call them my stats for I like sports. So I call them stats. You can call them whatever you want, but you want to notate not only your weekly, guys, but you want to notate your monthly commissions. See that, here is, and I think I heard Tammy say this one, the things that grow are the things that we track. Like, we can't grow something we don't know where it is. Like, how do you know where to go to if you don't know where you are or where you've been? Does that make sense? So how does that quote go? And can somebody look that quote up for me? Daily method of operation. That's exactly right, Shug. And you talked about that at Train the Trainer. But yeah, your daily method of operation, double check your numbers on a daily basis to make sure that you're moving the needle. Like, you don't want to wait till Friday and be like, man, I just blew a whole week. No, but we don't want to do that. So have a daily method of operation as to when you look at those numbers, and so you know what you need to do. But what are your monthly commissions? Are your monthly commissions sitting at $600, $60, $55? Where are your monthly commissions? But you want to write your monthly commissions down as well, guys, so that you know where you are, right? You want that needle to be moving as well. Does that make sense? You want that in other words, every time, somebody it pays their subscription, guys, that needle is going to be moving, right? So that monthly subscription amount goes up. And so where do you find these boxes? If you're on the main page, it is right above your team builder. And if you haven't got to team builder yet, don't worry about it. You'll get there. But you're going to have, I think the team builder report is here, and you're going to have weekly here and monthly here. And I think this box is yellow. I think it's yellow. And this box is red. Okay. And then the last thing, as far as your money is concerned, you want to look at your total commissions. And so this is where you can click on either one of these boxes. It opens up a report. At the bottom of the report, you're going to see back to commission history. You click on that, then it opens up your total history. On the bottom, right? On the bottom, you will see in bold black print what you've earned so far in your Surge career. Now, why do you want to write that one down? Because you want to be moving the needle. And the beautiful thing is, as you move the needle here, as you move it here, as you're moving it here, of course, your total commissions are growing as well. And so if you've decided, that of a certain amount per week that you need to earn, we asked you the question, if you had an extra $500 a week, would it mean something to you? And if the answer to that question is yes, right, then you want to make sure that you're moving in the direction of earning a $1,000 bonus every 2 weeks, $2,000 bonuses in a month's time. So those are the things that as business owners, remember, we are leaders, we're business owners. And I sent out the text this morning that said, calling all top leaders. And so the question was, am I supposed to be on the call? That was the question from the person. And I said, well, that depends on how you see yourself. Because family, whether you're in and the only person you're leading is you, you don't have a team yet, or you're the leader of one or the leader of 1,000, you are still a top leader. Like, that is the mindset of where you want to see yourself. So hopefully you're speaking your affirmations into your mirror every single day. Hopefully you're speaking them, to yourself throughout the day. Hopefully you're telling yourself just how amazing you really are on a daily basis, so that when you see something that says all top leaders, you should be getting on and letting somebody kick you off, right? Like, I popped onto a few director calls and they're like, Janice, not yet. And I'm like, oh, okay. But that's where I see myself. And so you want to make sure that you're seeing yourself there. So if you see a note that says calling all top leaders, you are one, whether you're just leading you today and you will be you're an amazing leader of 1,000 later, or you already have that team. Either way, guys, I want you to see yourself as a top leader. So those are the checks and balances. And guys, it only takes 15 minutes for you to go through and pull up all of those stats every Friday. And so if I text you and say, hey, let me send me your stats, which you guys are going to get a text message about that today. If I text you and say, give me your stats, you know what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? Like, text me your stats. Where are you for the week? Because if we ever have a situation where, let's say Bob comes to me and says, you know what, my income was doing really good, and now my income is kind of tapering, and I don't know what's going on there. I can look at the stats that he sent me, but then I'm going to ask Scott to take a picture of your calendar for the last 3 months and send me every page for the last 3 months. Now that takes us into a whole nother conversation. So we're done here. So you guys understand this. You want to chart where you are in reference to Team Builder. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. We're not done. All right. So you should have also, for this month, you heard Tammy say, you know what, then there's a new month. So you should have already set a goal for this month, right? And let's just say you said I had some of my team builders on the line, and they said that their goal is 12. Okay. So technically that's like one person really every 9 days or every 8 days or something like that. And we talked about, we talked to them about, well, if it takes 10, right, to get 2, then you're going to need to show 60 full presentations. And how you do that, of course, is up to you. But if it takes 60 people to look at it, And probably out of every 3 people you ask, one will actually, out of every 3 people that say yes, one will actually look at it. Then you probably need 180 people to actually say yes in order to get 60 to actually look at it, in order to get 12 on your team. And so you want to be tracking how many calls did I make. And I sent a message to my team builders yesterday asking for Thursday, November 1st, how many calls did you make? Now, it's not that I am trying to micromanage you. I'm trying to make sure you're in the mindset of tracking those numbers. Because again, we don't want to go a whole week and we look up and we've only made 3 phone calls. And guys, where is my phone? I can use my tablet. I don't know where I just put my phone. But, and I'm just calculating. I just need a calculator. That's all I need. But if we were to look at, I need 100, and that's just, let's just take that 180, right, and divide it by 30 days. What is that? 6 calls. I can do that math. That's 6 calls a day. And so if you need 6 people, right, 6 people that you talk to every day, in order to, is that right? Yeah. Let me make sure. Hold on. Where is my calculator? Tammy, can you do that? No, well, you don't know what's in my head. Hold on. Let me find my calculator. Hold up. CALC. All right. So here's my calculator. Yeah, that's right. 6 calls a day. Now, so that's 6 calls a day. So then, guys, we talked about the fact that, okay, you wanna make sure you don't want to set your goal for 30 days. So this is if you're going to set your goal for 30 days. We talked about setting your goals for 20 days. Like, you want to set your goals. Let's see what's in the chat. 6 per day, 30 per month. Thank you very much, Charlize. Thank you, baby. For some reason that when I'm looking at the screen, it makes less sense than when I'm looking at paper, but thank you, Charlize. So 6 calls a day. But what if, Charlize, we want to get it done in 20 days? What is that? 9 calls a day, right? So you don't have, don't push to the last day of the month, right? Maybe push to the 15th or the 20th. But that's you want to set that goal. Thank you very much. So you want to set that goal. So now if you're looking at your goal is 12 for the month, the other thing you want to do on that Friday is another fraction. How many of the 12 did I have on November 1st? How many of the 12 did I have closing out Thursday night, November 1st? And if that number is 0, then your fraction would be 0 out of 12. Maybe the case because the month just started. If that number is 10, it may be 10 out of 12 or whatever the number is. You want to be tracking where you are in reference to your goals. Now, team builders, I am being coached, right, to verify where you are in reference to your goal on Friday, because those numbers pertain to the overall numbers of the team. So let's just say Charlize is a regional builder. Charlize, being a regional builder, right? Okay, she has likely 3 or 4 or 5 team builders. Okay. Now, in order for Charlize to understand what the overall goal is, Charlize is going to set a personal goal for how many people, because this is the only number Charlize can control, that she's personally going to enroll 10. So congratulations to the one on yesterday. So that's her personal goal. But then from her team builders, she would have a conversation and say, okay, well, what's your goal? Somebody may say 5, 3, 1, 7. So her goal, her total is 14, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 plus her 10. Now, the only number she controls is this one, because the only activity that she can control is that one. However, the overall team goal based on what that would be nice, right? The overall team goal based on what the team members just said, though, is going to be 26 people for the team. Well, those are the things that she's going to be tracking on a weekly basis. A, where am I in reference to my 10? That's one fraction. B, where are we in reference to the overall goal? and that's a whole nother fraction. Now, this takes you about 15 minutes to go through, right? It takes you about 15 minutes to go through your numbers and know where are you in reference to your goal. The people who do this move faster than the people who are guessing where they are. Guys, does that make sense? So that's just a piece of advice. Now let's go then into a whole nother conversation, and we're gonna close this out by talking about your calendar. We're gonna talk just seriously about your calendar. And for those of you who have not actually seen the calendar training, I'm gonna challenge you to, if you are in the ICA group, go to announcements. I think it's there. Yeah, go to announcements, and I think there are like 10 announcement posts there. The announcement posts are so that you can easily find what you're trying to share with a new member. For example, the Fast Start orientation training is in there. An international presentation is in there. An American, a United States and Canada presentation training is in there. The calendar training is in there. The tracking document that Dawn Brewer, and let's pray for her because her father passed away, and so we know that that's not easy. If you have her number, definitely send her a text. If you're a friend with her on Facebook, definitely message her. And then there is revenue producing activities, that's in there. The travel survey steps 1, part 1 and part 2, that's all in there. So you can, if you're training somebody on it, you don't have to go through all of the training. You can just add them to the group, tag them in, let's just say the calendar training. Hey, hey, Mason, right? Tag Mason. Here's the training on, mapping out your calendar. I know Luz did it, and her new business partner did it, and they're just fired up about it. So, but you want to make sure that you've mapped out your calendar for the entire month. So your monthly calendar, right? Your monthly, okay? You want to go through, of course, and you're going to put in all of your commitments, right? And all of your business, activities. For example, the Zooms and the Fast Starts and the Facebook, whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that you put it in there. But then you also, guys, go over to your week, and then you're going to add, right? You're going to add all of those same things in your week. The calendar training is going to break that down. But my point, going back to, I think I said Bob. I think I was using the name Bob. If Bob came and said, hey, you know what? My money is tapering. My income is tapering. At one point in time, I was doing about, $1,000 every 2 weeks, and now it's $1,000 a month or $1,000 every 6 weeks. What's going on? And if he's keeping his calendar and he's tracking progress, then his upline, or if he's not on my team, I can, and even if you're not on my team, if you send it to me, I can kind of read it. But if you go back over a 3-month period, and 3 months ago you were bonusing every 2 weeks, and now this month you haven't bonused, you're bonusing every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, normally the calendar will speak to you. The calendar will tell you what you are and what you are not doing. And so if your upline says to you, you gotta work it. That's right. If your upline says to you, send me a picture of your calendar. And remember, guys, you wanna have a, let me see if my tab says it. Yeah. You wanna have a weekly, monthly calendar, okay? So that you can see month at a glance and week at a glance, okay? So if they said, send to me your calendar for the last 3 months, I want the week, the month, and then the week at a glance. And this is something that Rayshawn and her calendar stays packed, right? Your upline can look at it and tell you what's changed. Oh, I see back, in July, you were doing, 3 to 7 3-way calls a day. And I'm looking now in October and you're doing 1 to 2. See, those are the things. But if that information isn't in your calendar, there's no way for you to know what's going on. And there's no way for them to know what's going on. Because one of the things that I've learned that we do, at least I know I do, is I think I've done more than I did until I look at my calendar, right? I'm thinking, oh my God, I've worked so hard this week. Oh my goodness. And then I look in the calendar, it's like, oh, Maybe not, right? So keep your calendar. You know, if you listen to the calendar training, it's going to tell you how to plot your calendar. It's going to tell you how to plot it. Okay. But you've got to remember, you got to remember, guys, that you want to keep this thing tight, very, very tight, because it's kind of like, you know how you go to the doctor and you try to make a note of everything that's going wrong, all the pains you feel, everything that's going on. You try to make a note of every single thing that's going on, and she's gonna bark until I get her. I'm sorry. Mom was supposed to keep her upstairs. Hush. Just hush. So it's kind of like you go to the doctor and you want to remember everything that's been going on with you. And so I'm going to have a video presentation one day with no dogs. K9 security, that's exactly right. So it's the same thing when you go to your upline and say, I need help, I don't know what's going on. If your calendar is tight, if you're keeping accurate records of everything that you're doing, including your follow-ups, your three-way calls, guys, that's going to be your lifeblood to your upline. Not only your upline being able to diagnose, you can look back and see for yourself, you know what, I have not been doing as much as I could do. So make sure your calendar, if you haven't listened to that calendar training, it's 52 minutes long, so I can't go over it with you right now, but I do want to just make sure that you understand the numbers. And if you are serious about building your business, there are a couple of rules that you must adhere to. And you know what I'm going to do? As opposed to, hold on, let me do this. And for those of you guys who are, don't know, a lot of the trainings, in addition to being inside of, our group, it is on my YouTube page. And so I just want to go over I wanted you guys to listen to one quick thing. And I still haven't figured out YouTube yet. There we go. Okay. And hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. I can never find it the way I want to. So, but I'm just Janice Parker on Facebook, by the way. I mean, on YouTube. Okay, so let's just listen to this part together.
Make sure your audio is muted, and we will save all questions likely to be answered, if not in the presentation.
Don't know me, I am national builder Janice Parker, guys, and coming to you out of the Suffolk, Virginia market today with a conversation about your calendar, because a lot of people want to know how to master their calendar, how to get it done, what does it take to get to the top of the compensation plan, what am I missing, what do I need to add, what do I need to subtract, and we're going to talk about all of that on today. So we're going to talk about the 3 laws, guys, and I want you to make note of these and mentally understand it. It's going to give you a guideline of what activity you really should be doing to be a top producer, okay? You can do less, but you won't produce as much. But if you'll follow these laws and these rules I'm going to talk to you about, it's going to lead you to, that success. So let's start with the building rules, okay? Let's start with the building rules, and then we'll cover the laws. So the first building rule. So who has no sound? Somebody said they have no sound. I want to make sure the sound is, does anybody else have no sound? Does anybody else have no sound? Can you guys hear it? Let me change channels. All right, can everybody hear? Okay, you hear perfect. Okay. All right, wonderful. All right, fantastic. Okay, here we go. You listen to this training, and this training is going to be great, but I want you to listen to her introduction once this training is posted, because Shanice, you just did an amazing job. I want to thank you, number one, for reaching out to me. Number two, for being such a stellar leader down in Trinidad and Tobago. Number three, not only talking the talk, but walking the walk. Not only talking about it, but being about it, but doing, just doing an amazing job just now. Rule is called the 1/3 rule. The 1/3 rule applies no matter what business, no matter what you do. The 1/3 rule is going to apply. Now, that is that 1/3 of the people that when you're building your total business, no fault of yours, nothing you did wrong. All right, Mike, do you have your app open? I just want to make sure everybody can hear. Mike, do you have your app open? Because if you don't have your app open, you will not hear, because whenever it's a recording, you cannot hear unless your app is open. So I just want to make sure you know that, okay? But with that, guys, we got to keep moving because I have another appointment. So, okay. All right, so let me see now. Let's all right, hold on, guys. Business, no matter what you do, the 1/3 rule is going to apply. Now, that is that 1/3 of the people that when you're building your total business, no fault of yours, nothing you did wrong, it's just the way it is. But 1/3 of the people that join your business is going to quit. There's no way to stop them from quitting. Some people are just quitters. It's what they do. Don't take it personal. It may be a disappointment, but just know up front, as you're building, 1/3 of your total team that you're building, 1/3 is going to quit. It's okay. But don't worry. That's just part of it. Because don't worry, another third will incubate, okay? They're going to be on the calls. They're going to keep paying their membership. They may even get 3 and free, but they're going to incubate, and they're kind of waiting on their time. Everybody has timing. So the 1/3 rule means 1/3 are going to quit. Can't stop that. Don't get bummed out. Don't back off. 1/3 are going to incubate. Nothing you do is going to push them. They're going to keep coming to presentations, keep coming to trainings, get on the Zooms, come to events, but not really be big builders. But then you're going to have those 1/3 that are going to be huge builders. These people are going to make the top income in the entire company. Just understand, the 1/3 that quit and the 1/3 that incubate, that 2/3, right, is okay. That 1/3 is enough to take you to be more than a 6-figure income earner, more than $1 million earner here in Surge 365. They're going to be big builders. Now, the reason I go over the 1/3 rule first is sometimes people have 3 or 4 big builders in their organization, but they get bummed out when somebody joins and they thought they'd be great. They quit, they don't answer their phone, they go into witness protection. This is not where you're focused on. Get with the person who's getting down for their crown. They're in it to win it. They're on it like an Easter bonnet. That's where you're going to focus your time. That's where those massive producers are. Guys, that's rule number 1. Now, rule number 2 in the building rules is that it's easier to work your business fast than to work it slow. It's easier to work it fast than to work it slow. I didn't understand at the beginning of my networking career. I've heard people say, hey, so I'm going to set up my first home party 2 weeks from now, a month from now. You know, in my mind, that's like 3 years now, right? You got to do everything in a hurry in this industry. You don't wait to do anything. Everything happens right now. And it's easier to build your business fast than it is to build it slow. And that's why we set up short, compressed time frames. Like right now we're in our 90-day blitz or a 30-day blitz or a 10-day fast. Guys, we do it in those time frames because we're building our business fast. So the rule number 1 is the 1/3 rule. Rule number 2 is easier to build your business fast than it is to build it slow. But then rule number 3 is you always want to build your business from event to event. Now, event is this conference call. It could be a webinar that's going on tonight, a live event tomorrow. It could be the Super Saturday trainer that's coming, to the national event, the convention. And you build from event to event. You make sure that every event that you attend with more people than you had at the last event. Those are simple rules. They're not hard. There's no algorithm. There's no math involved. There's no calculus. It's simple. If you follow these, it will really help you to prepare all your business to get to the next level. Now, let's talk about some of the laws. Now, these laws apply, right, no matter what. But these laws, you have to, and I do repeat, have to really focus on you maintain following these laws to build a big business, right? They're an extra benefit to you, okay? So law number 1, to be a big time builder, you must show your business opportunity 4 to 6 times per week. You must show the business opportunity 4 to 6 times per week, preferably in a group setting like a home meeting or a travel mixer or travel party. Guys, that's 4 to 6 home parties per week. And I'm going to share with you how to do that even if you're super, super busy, Andrea. I got you. 4 to 6 home parties every week. That is a law. That's law number 1. So we're going to run our whole business and use our calendar to make sure that no matter what, you got 4 to 6 group settings every single week in order to business. We're going to follow that law. We're going to apply it to the calendar, work around your schedule. But law number 2, okay? A recruit is not a recruit, okay? A recruit is not a recruit until they are 3 and free. A recruit is not a recruit until they're 3 and free. They've got 3 sales under their belt, whether it's Vortex, Platinum, or the membership. When you've got 3 sales, okay, now you've got an official recruit because they've got checks coming. They may have the fast start bonus coming. They've got, maybe that 150, right? They're on their way to qualifying for that first $1,000 bonus in their first 7 days. And if you guys, that first 30 days, if you're past that time frame, it's okay. We still want to get you your 3, but now they're solid. They're in. They got a check coming, several. They've got 3 separate legs, in the organization, giving you more people that you can help. But remember, your recruit is not really, really, really a recruit until they've got 3 sales. And it's your job as a leader to help them get that 3. That's law number 2. Law number 3, and this is the one that took me a minute, but law number 3 says, the independent big time leaders, right, that you're looking for, the independent big time leader that you're looking for is 3 to 4 levels deep in your organization. Big time business, that leader is 3 to 4 levels deep. Right? So if you're showing your business 4 to 6 times per week, and we're going to talk about BAM FAM in a minute, and if you're doing it and it's your job to keep showing it 4 to 6 times a week, you're going to, fill your calendar up. So once you bring in a new recruit, you're going to understand it's your job to help them get those 3 and free. Then you're going to grab a hold of those people because you're looking for who comes in 3 to 4 levels deep in your organization, which is why you don't get frustrated. You stay focused. Now that we've covered the rules and now we've covered the laws, this is going to come into play as we begin to set up our calendar. Now, let me first talk about the purpose from which you set up your calendar. But before I do that, now, does anybody have any questions, though, before I move forward? Guys, that is just a quick clip. And again, you can find the entire calendar training on YouTube. You can find it in our group. And what I was told when I learned this information was listen to it over and over and over and over again until you've actually got it. Because you want to make sure you're applying those rules. And so when you listen to the calendar training, I tell you how to project your money based on what your calendar looks like, what your week looks like, what your month looks like. You can project your income based on that. And if you set an income goal, which I forgot to tell you that your income, you want to set a monthly income goal, you want to track where you are in reference to that goal as well. And all of that boils down to what is the work that you're actually doing. So listen to that, guys. Make sure you go back in and you look at what your numbers are for the week, right? You look at what your numbers are for the month. Prayerfully, you've got your month already planned out, all of your real activities, and you'll hear about it on the training. Your commitments, the other things that are important to you, the surge, Zooms and conference calls and what have you, all on your calendar. So now you can build your business around your life, not having to try to fit your life around your business. Okay, makes sense. And then this is something I was sharing with Andrea yesterday as I wrap up. Last thing I want to share with you guys is this: is that the run is really more of a team effort. It's not about one person putting in hundreds of people so much as a team effort. And so let's just say this is Andrea here. And as Andrea grows her organization, remember your goal, guys, is your team builder. As a team builder, you want to have 10 legs running in your team builder organization. Some people say, well, I'm just going to have 10, including my fast start. Is your world. However you want to do it is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So if we apply the rule, let's just say Andrea goes out and gets 10 people in her team builder organization, right? Well, we know that if we want 10 running, she needs 30. We already know that. So she'll bring in 30 people. The 1/3 rule says, right? The 1/3 rule says that if she had 30 personals, right? So let's just say this went from not just 10, but she had a total of 30 people that she personally recruited, okay? Out of that, 10 of those people incubated, 10 of those people quit. It left her with these 10. So that's the mindset. We cannot go into this business thinking that when we would sponsor 3, we're going to have 3. We got 1. Right? It's just the math. Whether that person starts incubating immediately or they start incubating in 6 months, numbers never lie. So you don't want to have false expectations of your organization. If you have 10 recruits, you really have 3.5. That's just the numbers. So if you want 10 people running in your organization, you need 30 personal recruits if you want 10 legs, because you know that whether they quit now or quit later, incubate now or incubate later, the numbers are going to be the same. So Andrea, if these were your 10, if Andrea has 10 people that are each out doing 4 to 6 home parties a week, this is where the magic is, guys. This is where you're leading leaders. This is where the magic is right here. So if she's got 10 leaders, and it doesn't even have to be 10. I just want you to give you guys the scope of what you're looking to do. If you're going to build a huge organization and you're going to diversify, we teach you to have at least 10 legs growing. That means you got to go out and get 30. If you know that that's what you need to go do, go get it done, right? Because that's if you want to be a director. Not everybody wants to be a director. Nobody. That's just if you do. So please know, if you're up here and that's not your lane, because I did ask some people, if that's your lane, great. If it's not your lane, great. But when I was counseling the other day, one of my mentors said to me, he said, it's not about you trying to do everything, but you growing leaders. And if Andrea has, or any leader has, 10 legs where 4 to 6 presentations are being done, then Andrea has, plus Andrea is doing 4 to 6 presentations, right? Then Andrea has 44 to 66 presentations happening in our organization on a weekly basis. That's how we move the needle. But how do we get there? We have to personally make sure that we've got 10 legs running. And in order to do that, we may have to sponsor 30. Your numbers may be better, but shoot to go ahead and get your 30 personals out of the way. If you want to run towards those positions, and it's not, if you think about it, you're doing 4 to 6 presentations. That does not fill up your calendar. So the sooner we get you, 3 people running, 5 people running, 6 people running, because out of every 10, you got 3. So let's just say Andrea goes out this month and gets 10 people on her team. For the first month, they all may be running, right? We know though, what the numbers already say, that third of them going to fall off at some point in time. But let's just say, you go get those 10, Andrea, and you're doing the travel parties for those 10, and 3 or 4 of those guys get to Team Builder, and now they're doing their own travel parties. And let's just say next month, you're doing your 4 to 6, and then the next month, you've got some of these people doing their own 4 to 6. Guys, that's still what? That's still 16, 20 to 30 presentations happening in your organization. It's called growing exponentially. Growing exponentially. And so it's interesting because remember, sure, we were talking about you, Leslie, me, and Tammy at our little session, and we were talking about the power of the no, going out to actually acquire your no's. Family, make sure your new people understand it's okay. We expect some people to say no. Make sure they understand that. But when you got these meetings, guys, and we're doing 4 to 6 meetings, and each meeting has maybe 5 to 10 people, and out of each meeting, 1 to 2 to 3 get started, your numbers, you're going to hear your name on the charts. And that's my goal, guys. I want to hear your names at the top of the charts, right? So understand that piece is that it's not about you doing everything. It's just for a little while, you got to do most of it, because you got to get those people who can start to take charge and start doing it for themselves. Fair enough? Any questions before we go? Any questions before we go? What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up so that you can unmute yourself. So if you have a question, unmute yourself, and then we'll answer your question before we go. Anybody that has a question, feel free to unmute yourself. I'm going to do something also. Let me make sure I monitor the chat. Let's see. Somebody
Janet.
says, hi. Uh-huh. Is this Miss V?
Yeah. I have a break over at the spa, so I'm able to see and be on the webinar.
Good.
I have a question about the 100 challenge. Can you just go over that one more time, please?
The 100 challenge for the 50,000 or the 100 look challenge?
The 100 look. I'm sorry.
Yes, I sure can. Okay. And so what Ms. V is talking about, guys, on the Fast Start orientation training, also on YouTube and also inside of the group, okay? I'm a sidebar 1 second, Ms. V, and then I'm gonna come back to that. Again, guys, the reason those things are under announcements is you can speed up how fast you're training your team by adding them to the group, tagging them, for example, a young man on my team named Nyron put a post, an ad in a group. Right now, as of last night at 2 a.m., we were up to 129 people wanting more information. So I said, Nyron, add them to the group, tag them in the international presentation or the icon legends in the group, and let them know, hey, John Smith, this is the information that, about, from the ad that you requested. Feel free to not only look at this, but any other information in the group. By the way, my mentor tag, Janice Elisa Parker, is here to help you as well. So when he does that, right, now that person is in the community. Now, y'all know the community is 1,600 strong, right? Then I can come behind and say, hey, John Smith, great, glad you're here. I am coaching Nyron. I will be your coach. If we can work together, feel free to browse, enjoy the community, right? And I'll probably do a welcome post for them as well, welcoming into the community. But think about, he gets started. Now you say, hey, John Smith, you go to the Fast Start. Hey, John Smith, tag him in the Fast Start. Here's the Fast Start orientation training. Please walk through the steps. Follow all of the instructions, and once you're done, get back with myself or coach Janice Elisa Parker, or whoever the coach is. It could be Leslie, it could be Velma, and we'll be ready to launch your business, right? But and then as you talk to them about the calendar, as opposed to trying to recite all that, go to the calendar training. Hey, John Smith, as we build your business, you're going to want to have a weekly, daily calendar. Here's a specific training on the calendar. So all of what would be relevant for them. When we're sending them out to do travel surveys, they don't know what to do. Hey, John Smith, here's a training, part 1 on doing the calendar. Hey, John Smith, this is part 2. On doing the surveys. So you don't have to go back and recite it. You just add them to the group, tag them in the training, and let them watch the training. John Smith, once you're finished the training, give me a call. If you put your phone number in there, it's safe. We're all in a private community. But my point is, guys, this is to speed up the training of our teams because we want to grow with speed. So what Ms. Velma is talking about is in the Fast Start orientation training, and that is in the group as well. And if you haven't seen it, what I did was, one of the things that Leslie told me is that sometimes I cover so much for a new person, I could scare them, which is true, right? Because I'm like over here and they're babies, right? And so the Fast Start orientation training, I think it's like 23 minutes long or something like that. Y'all know that's short for me, but I'm kind of like a pastor. but anyway, so inside of it, it talks about the 100 look challenge. The 100 look, right? Ooh, let's make them smile. The 100 look challenge. And what Miss Velma is asking is, what is that? All right, so the 100 look challenge is this. It is, you guys are familiar with our site, okay? It is iconlegends.com. So if you're not familiar with it, let me put it here. It is Icon Legends, and it doesn't matter whose team you're on. If you want to use it, you can. I don't even have it set up where if somebody email for more, I guess I probably should set it up. But if somebody email for more information, they could do that. So I can do that. But I'll verify who sent you to the website. So, but I hadn't done that so that it keeps it neutral. But if you send somebody to Icon Legends, you want to tell them, listen, I want you to go to Icon Legends and watch the whole story. So what is the 100 look challenge? So Ms. Velma, that is where you're going to ask 100 people, like this is to get your business like, zzz, right? 100 look challenge simply means you're going to get 100 people to go to iconlegends.com and view what we call the whole story. And so we say to them, hey, listen, I'm going to send, you can start with the magic question, right? Which is, if you had an extra $500 a week, would it mean something to you? 99% of the people are going to say yes, right? Miss Velma, let me see if you're on mute again. You raise your hand. So 99% of the people are going to say yes. So however you get them to the, Ms. Velma, did you raise your hand just now or did I miss something?
Yeah, I was just going to say duh to me because I've been putting people over there and I've been asking the question and the magic question, but I wasn't relating it to the 100 look challenge for some reason. So the 100 look is to get 100 to look at the website. Okay, that's my duh.
No, that's okay. But somebody else may want to know too. So you give yourself this challenge. And of course, guys, remember, if we're going after, 80 no's, this is a great way to get them, right? And you could ask that question that we talked about in Train the Trainer. Hey, would you mind taking a look at this? Because my mentor says if 10 people take a look, 8 people will say no. Do you mind being one of my no's? But anyway, however you do it. But go ask them to look at the whole story. Ask them to go through steps 1, 2, and 3. And then, once they're done, get back with you. Now, what some people are doing, Ms. Velma, is they're sitting down with people and going through steps 1, 2, and 3. However you do it, doesn't matter. Or, or if you get your own Zoom webinar platform, you could do a one-on-one by way of Zoom if they're not local and go through steps 1, 2, and 3 together. Sometimes people will go through all of it together if y'all are both online together. So, but at any rate, the reason you say 1, 2, and 3 is because the steps are all different. Step 1 is going to talk about the cash flow quadrant. It's going to talk about, how we earn money. It's going to talk about being in that business sector and creating that regenerational wealth and why you need to be in business. Step 2, and we have 2 step 2s. If somebody is international, like, Ms. Velma in Trinidad or Jamaica or Ecuador, that step 2 is for them. At step 2 international. So there's a step 2, and I may go in and label it step 2 US and Canada. And then step 2 international, because they're different, right, guys? Things are different. And so if they're not here, make sure they know international so that they understand the numbers are different for them. And then step 3. And so step 2 only talks about the membership. It talks about the membership and then the Vortex Platinum. And then step 3 talks about the compensation. So they're broken up, right? So that they're, there's a 5-minute piece, 23, and then like 27 or something like that. So they're broken up. So ask them to look at steps 1, 2, and 3. You have to say that or people will stop. Ask them to look at steps 1, 2, and 3. And sometimes somebody will do a 3-way chat with me and the young lady will say, well, so how does this work? And I'll say, well, did you get to step 3? Oh, no, I looked at step 1. Okay, what I need you to do is go back, right? Look at steps 1, 2, and 3, and then let us know when you're done. And guys, you're also seeing if people can actually follow instructions. If they're only interested in the membership, Mike, step 2. So Mike asked, would they have to see the whole story if they're only interested in the membership? That's an excellent question. If they're only interested in the membership, and let's just say you're campaigning just to get members, Mike, absolutely just have them look at step 2. They don't need 1 or 3. And so that's another reason why they're broken up. That way you can independently, right? You can independently move them through the platform. The other thing that I am going to add, Mike, is I'm going to add a travel. I've just got a crystal. I got to get it crisp. Tanisha and I are going to do this. We're going to add a travel agents only. I don't know if we'll add it inside of Icon Legends or not, because we don't want people confused. I may create a whole nother website for that. But we're going to do if you're talking to people about being travel agents, we are creating a platform where you can send them straight there and they can go look at what it takes to be a travel agent and then get back to you after that. You're quite welcome, Mike. So that's what the 100 Look Challenge is, Ms. Velma, is make a list of probably 150, 170 names, call the people, and just take 2 weeks to go through, or a week to go through getting these people on that. And then of course the 3-way call. And in a few minutes, I'm going to go live. I'm going to talk about the 3-way call, because people are saying, Coach, I don't even know what that is. What's a validation call? What's a 3-way call? And I'm going to do that top of the hour, 2 o'clock. I'll be on Facebook, my Facebook, and in our group. And of course, it'll be in the group that you can tag your new people on how to do a 3-way call. So any other questions? Great question, Ms. Velma. Any other questions, guys? All right, let's just see. All right, I should say yes to 3-way. Yes, that's going to be an important piece. So again, guys, it'll end up under announcements in the Icon group. Again, you don't have to be on my team to participate in that group. So if you want to join that group, let me put the link here. If you want to join the group, And so, and then of course you can save this, guys, to your notes. And whenever you have a new person, make sure they join, because ultimately I'm going to go away from text messaging, except to my leaders. And then leaders, what I'm going to need you to do is make a list of your team, and you're going to text your team, so that I don't have to send out 600 text messages, because it gets to be cumbersome. So, so that's just a side note for team builders and above. But if somebody wants to join the group, guys, you can. I'm going to do it on Zoom also, Mike, as a matter of fact, but it's not going to be on this link. It's going to be on, I'll post a link, because I'm going to do it as a webinar, not a meeting. And that way I don't have to hold my phone in front of the screen. I can, it'll look neat and clean. I'll post it in the group in a few minutes. And so, and then I'll share it from Facebook. That way, if you miss it, sometimes when I go live, people don't see it unless I share it a few times, which is crazy because Facebook changed the algorithm. So I just posted, guys, the link. Copy that, save that, and when you have somebody new, if you want to add them to the group, great, feel free to do so. And we always try to make a big deal of welcome them. Even if they're not in the business, they can be added to the group. So there's 1,600 people in there. There are not that many people that are in the business. a lot of them are still looking. But recently I had somebody say they were ready and they were bringing their daughter because they like the love and the camaraderie and the friendship and the uplifting that the group does. And so we want to definitely, you guys are doing a great job at welcoming people and congratulating people and just, and I see like Leslie's busy all day, but maybe around midnight or 1 a.m. all of a sudden in my news feed, Leslie commented on this post, Leslie commented on that post. And so she can't do it during the day, but at the end of the day, it's like 20 things she's gone into the group and she's welcome, congrats, awesome, boom, whatever, how Leslie does her thing. And she just goes through and comment. And you guys are doing just an amazing job at commenting on the posts. So I want to say thank you for that. If there are no further questions, I'm going to prepare. I've got a little bit more information to listen to. Leslie knows I love Holton Bugg, so I'm going to finish listening to him so I can go live and bring you a crisp, clean training on the three-way call. All right, with that being said, family, thank you guys. You guys stayed on the whole time. Miss Andrea and Shug and hey, Joanne and LaWanda, Miss Leslie, Margaret, Mike Navarro, Nicole Davis. What's going on, baby? Rochelle and Charlize, Savannah and Sawanda. What's up, champions? Sylvia and Tammy, thanks for that introduction. Tanisha, me and you, baby. We got to get that done this weekend. Timothy, Valerie, Velma, thanks for that question. Miss Zeta. Area code 240-997-773-814. Thank each and every one of you guys for being on. You're amazing champions. I appreciate your time on this Saturday afternoon, and I will see you on live. You're quite welcome. I'll see you on live, guys, in about 19 minutes. You guys have an amazing rest of your day. If I don't see you, God bless you. Love you to life, and we'll talk to you very soon, family. Good afternoon.